Good to see you. So before we go into our Tai Chi stretching, I would like to explain a little bit about what we're doing and why we're doing it. As you know, Tai Chi is a moving meditation. You're always in some kind of motion. There's always one limb is moving. We're shifting weight constantly. And it doesn't involve a lot of standing postures, unlike with yoga, flow yoga, you're transitioning in and out. But a lot of yoga poses, you're staying in a single pose and holding that pose. And that's not so much the case with Tai Chi or Qigong. But it's very important that the poses that we do have are precise, especially with Tai Chi, and that our body is positioned and aligned in the right way. And it's important for us to work and develop the body, both internally and externally, so that when we are doing our form, we're easily sliding in and out of those poses. It could be described as if you had a custom-made glove. The custom-made glove, every finger is measured, the width of the finger, everything is measured to perfection. It's made out of the most beautiful leather. It's fine crafted. So when the hand slips into the glove, it just fits perfectly. So when we're in our postures, let's just say for parting the wild horse's mane, for an example, we first of all are sinking, getting ourselves, our mind, our bodies into that posture, and then we will sit in the posture and just hold it. We'll breathe, let yourself sink down into it. And what we're doing, not so much muscle memory, but what's happening here is we're allowing the huang, or the fascia, the connective tissue, to learn what it feels like to be in parting the wild horse's mane. And that's the muscle memory, we're marinating the fascia with this energy as it's being in that. It's almost like if you had a wetsuit, a stretchy suit that's being stretched and formed into that posture, and it becomes familiar with that posture. So then, as we are doing our form, we're stepping out, we're sliding into that form, into the move, it's like we are moving, the hand is coming into that glove. So as soon as we set into the form, the body already knows. It's like coming home, coming back into some place we feel very comfortable with, and we are locked into that beautiful posture. It's almost another analogy is if you had a very intricately made lock system, and that key is going into that lock and turning, just that perfect fit and turning. I'm sure you know what it's like when you don't have a perfectly made lock system and you're trying to crank the key. Well, this is just total perfection going in there and turning. So I want you to feel, after we are practicing that, this is the intention, what we're aiming for, because you're either in transition of the form of the position, where we're moving towards the posture, and then when we're in the posture, and then we move out of the posture. We're moving through the posture, but the body needs to recognize to fold into that and to feel nice and comfortable and secure. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing 3-minute sets where we'll be holding a pose for 3 minutes. We'll have a 20-second interval in between. You can stretch out a little bit, and then we'll go into the next posture. This is not a time for us to be stretching, so if you have not stretched before the practice, I would encourage you to just stretch a little bit out. Just do these kind of rolls, maybe doing some dipping down, this kind of stuff, going from leg to leg, stretching out the legs, whatever it might be. And then we'll get into the stance. We'll start working on that. On the other side of the title. See you then. Take care. Okay, so let's get going. Remember, before we start, the camera is mirrored, So when I have my right hand out, you should be able to mirror me exactly on the screen so there's no confusion left and right. So the first thing we're going to do is just start in Wuji. So let's begin. So we're getting into Wuji now, settling. We don't need to work too much on the Wuji posture because I'm sure I've drilled it into your heads up to this point. As this is becoming a little bit more advanced, the only things I would suggest is that the feet, we are 60-40 in the feet. When I first introduce students to Wuji, we have 50-50 weight across the feet, but now we begin to put a little bit more weight into the upper part of the foot, and that is opening up the metatarsal bones, which allows the bubbling wells to open. We are also opening up Lao Gong. And again, as I'm always saying, bones are floating, flesh is sinking. Bones up, meat down. Just holding this posture. You can have your eyes open or shut, it doesn't matter. If you have your eyes open though, just find a place, just maybe 5 or 6 feet in front of you, where you can just have an unfixed, relaxed gaze. Just relax the eyes. Soften the eyes. Allow that sinking, the pulling up of the bones. Everything else is pulling away, stretching the fascia. Imagining all of the internal organs, everything else just filled with chi, sinking down and away from the bones. And our mind should be resting right at the lower dantian. Just using the principles that I was saying of this passive, allowing the mind just to slip down all the way down to the lower dantian, and to allow the breath to do the same thing. So both the breath and the mind are at the lower dantian. Okay, there we go. Stretch out for a little bit. Shake it off. So the first move we're going to go is we are going to go into a front stance. I'm going to walk you through front stance real quick. So in that front stance, the front leg is pointing straight ahead. I have my left leg out. Might as well mirror me if you want to. So that leg is pointing straight ahead, 60-40 with our weight distribution. A little bit more weight on the front foot, back leg slightly bent, 45-degree angle. If you had laser beams coming out of your shoulders and your hips, those laser beams would be pointing in exactly the same direction as that front foot. Now, as we were in Wuji before, the top of the head was raised up. Everything else is sinking off the bones. We're doing the same thing with our front stance. So what I'd like you to do for these exercises is that we're going to do pretty deep stances here. So when we're actually doing the form, our stances are not going to be that deep, but I want you to get used to doing deep stances for this kind of training. And that way, when we do the form, it's going to be so easy for you to flow through the moves. You'll already be at a much deeper level. The fascia is already used to and is marinated in the posture at a very deep stance. And so it's going to be a much easier for you and more recognizable for you to move through those postures and to feel good and secure in them. So As we exhale, we're sinking. Everything is sinking away from the bones. Feeling the weight in the feet. That's right. A little more. Got about another minute to go. Taking some nice deep breaths. So just be aware of this stance. Again, we're keeping mindful of this railroad track we're on. This foot is on one of the rails. The other foot is on the other rail. Basically, the front of your rear foot, not the heel, but the front of the rear foot is on the rail because the heel is swinging around at times. So we always want to remind us that that kind of where the bubbling wells is, right there. Okay? And keep sinking. Now I know this might start creating as we go through this. You're going to get some shaking, perhaps. You're going to feel pretty sore in those legs. This is all part of the training. We want to shape our bodies to be able to handle this kind of pressure, and we want it to be easy for the body to handle that. And this is just part of the practice that we have to get used to being in this posture quite a bit. And we have to go through a little bit of discomfort sometimes to get to that. Okay, very good. Let's shake it out. So the next one we're going to do is called Mabu. We're going to go into Mabu. Mabu is horseback riding stance. Okay, we're starting to get ourselves, we can kind of slide into that 45-degree angle. And here we go. Just exhaling. Bones up. So the main thing about Mabu is your back needs to be straight. If you are super low in Mabu and you're doing this, then I would suggest that you take a much higher stance in Mabu with a straight back. Because doing this, you can see that you're cutting off this whole cycle that's happening is being basically cut in half. That's not helping anything. So just find out where the back is nice and straight, you're upright, and then taking those breaths, again moving right down through the feet, top of the head raised up. We're not really doing anything with our hands right now. So just sinking down. Put the tongue on the roof of the mouth if you want. It's allowing the breath to sink down to the lower dantian. So the Mabu is usually, when we're doing Tai Chi, Mabu is usually a intermediate step. There's not really any posture that's in Mabu, but it's usually the transition as we're transitioning into one of the primary postures. We go into Mabu and then transition through that. But it's also a very good practice just to work about being in Wubu, in Mabu. If you've ever learned any kind of Chen style is real big on staying in Mabu for a long time. So it's a good thing to get used to. It builds a lot of things. Builds your strength in your thighs, obviously. And if done right, it'll help you and avoid any kind of knee injury in the future. Got a little less than a minute now. So just taking some nice deep breaths. So again, as I was saying, there's going to be times where you might feel some shaking going on, feel some discomfort. What I'd like you to do is just breathe through it. Inhale, exhale, just imagine the weight sinking down. If right now I was feeling tension here, exhale, just imagine it just kind of running down the legs, down into the ground. You want to see roots coming out of your feet, that's great. See that energy that's kind of blocked here. Just see it moving down through and into the ground. So might have times where whole body is shaking. Again, just take a nice big inhale. Sink down. Allow the pressure of your down breath. Just kind of move stuff around. If you visualize the energy is moving out, there we go. That wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, so now we're going to actually start doing our postures. First one is good old parting the wild horse's mane. So here we go. We're going into parting the wild horse's mane. Okay. I'm going to, maybe about halfway through, I'm going to shift position so I can show you from the side too. But anyway, so here we are. So we should be lined up as we were talking about the front stance. We were in front stance. The difference is now that we have parted the wild horse's mane. My left hand, if I have my left foot forward, is out. My right hand is by my side as if I'm patting the dog. So feeling comfortable in that position. If you want to close your eyes, you can. Just take some nice deep breaths. Imagine the shape of your body. Imagine what shape it is. The fascia is just soaking up and absorbing that shape. Always remember that your knees are not over your toes. You always need to be able to see your toes. If your knees extend over the toes, you're going to end up with Tai Chi knee. We don't want to have Tai Chi knee. So that's painful, and that kind of circumvents the whole process. So again, feeling that relaxing in the shoulders. Shoulders, arms, everything is nice and strong in the bones, but really feeling the muscles, the tendon, the fascia moving away. Okay, I'm going to shift position now. Here I go. Okay. You don't have to shift position. I just want you to see a different angle to it. Seeing? You're doing great. Remember that laser beam, everything is pointed the way of that foot. Nice, deep breaths, exhaling. A bit longer. 30 seconds to go. Aches and pains that might be happening. Just breathe through them. Maybe in the lower back, you're feeling something, maybe in the knees, starting to shake a little bit, the muscles. Just try to work through that. If you absolutely can't, then you can always break and just take a break. Take a break. Next one now. Very good, by the way. Next one we're going to do is Stork Spreads its Wings. All the weight is in the right foot. Get ready to go. Up we go. Stork spreads her wings, I'll say. Stork spreads her wings. So all the weight is in the right foot. We're in our nice cat stance. Sink. Don't, all that nervous energy and tension in the body, just release it. Feel the shoulders, all the muscles around the shoulders relaxing off the bone, sliding off the bone. You should feel the weight of the meat of your hands on that right arm sinking down away. I know what's going to happen. It's going to be the right thigh is going to start to hurt. I'm not putting this into your mind, but anyway, that's probably what's going to happen. And again, the calf, you just kind of breathe through it. Maybe imagine there's like a big stake running right through the top of the body, all the way down through the leg and into the ground. It's just supporting you. Allow those shoulders to sink. Allow the quad to sink. Remember, the quad is pulling away from the rib cage. The whole torso is pulling away from the head. Feeling the strength, the lengthening in the neck. And then the quad is pulling away, opening up the the out. I'm getting ready to shift position. Here I go. I'm going to shift over. You don't have to shift. I want you to hold that leg, same leg. And if you want to, you can re-watch this video and then just do it on the other side. Do the postures using the other foot. So again, we're breathing. Any kind of tension, shaking. Dropping the weight, visualizing energy moving through the body, moving out through the feet, out through the hands. Top of the head's pulled up. You're working the inside of the body as well as the outside. The fascia is being pulled, is forming into that, it's like soft dough moving into the pan, the shaped, the cookie pan, cookie shape. It's just flowing into the shape, filling all the spaces. Going, shoulders starting to feel discomfort, just breathe. Take a big breath, let it go. Oh, we're almost there. Very good. Everything coming down. So now, next one we're going to be doing is brush knee push step. However, we're going to do brush knee push step, you'll be happy to hear, with the other leg. So the right leg now is coming up, and I'm brushing with my, so right foot out, right hand, and I'm pushing with the left. So front stance though, front stance is exactly the same, but we are pushing with the left hand, pushing at the solar plexus. Right hand, just brush the knee. Make sure you can see those toes. Top of the head is pulled straight up. Beautiful stance. 60-40 weight. Hips, everything is facing that direction. And breathe, relax. Sink. Close your eyes if you want to. Just creating the perfect shape. Align myself a little bit perfect. Again, if you're feeling a little bit out of shape, you can always just tweak a little bit. Your body will tell you. It doesn't quite feel right. It should feel very natural. So letting the shoulders sink. Feeling the bones nice and upright. Okay, I'm going to shift my stance towards you more. Keep holding. Just because I'm moving doesn't mean you can. I'm kidding. Just hold in that position. Breathe through the tension, the tightness. Let it release. Feel the quad opens up. Sometimes we kind of have our quad in a certain place. You take a breath and then you can readjust a little bit. It's like, it just opens up. Got less than a minute to go. Just keep breathing. Allow the mind, if the mind's come up again, just let the mind sink down. If you haven't watched those videos I have about syncing the mind, actively and passively, I would recommend watching those. You always start doing it actively, consciously doing it, and then you learn how to do it passively, and it just will start doing it by itself. Almost done. You're doing great, by the way. Very good. Okay. Shake it off a little bit. Just double check what we're doing here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. We have 2 more. Next one we're going to do is repulse. Well, this is repulse the monkey. This is play the guitar, play the peepaw. Here we go. I'm going to get on a level ground here. So we are playing guitar, playing peepaw. Hips, everything is the same direction. Now all the weight is in the right foot. That right thigh is going to be singing. You're going to feel it. Left arm at that angle. Right hand right at the elbow. Left foot is up. Super light left foot. Yin foot. Right heavy. Yang foot. Top of the head pulled up. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. Visualize that stake running through the leg, the right leg, deep down into the ground. Imagine roots coming out of your right foot. Not only going down, but moving to the side, branching out in all directions. When you start to feel that tension rising in the foot, just take a nice deep breath. Sink. Let all that tension and energy just move right through the foot, past. You're kind of grabbing it as it goes down through the thigh, down through the feet, down into those roots. Okay, we got 1 more minute. Keep it going. Keep that breath going. Very good. This is the work we need to do in order to get to where we want to go. We want to work interior and the exterior, the body. Got about a minute left. Hips should be pretty much straight out with the hands. I know this is probably starting to burn the thigh. It's okay. See if you can make it. See if you can last. If not, I totally understand. You can take a breath. You can take a breath and just wait this out. But come on, you can do it. Just a little longer. Almost there. Just thinking about how many takes I had to take to make this video. I'm only kidding. This is the first time. But my Sifu had us doing this for a long time. There we go. Okay. Last one we're going to do today is Pung. Pung is a super important. Pung looks very similar to Parting the Wild Horse's Mane, except with Parting the Wild Horse's Mane, we're in a front stance. We're going to give that right leg a break. So we're just going to have, it's going to be, here we go. Well, I guess not giving it a break. So rather than the hand coming out, frisbee, we're pushing. This arm, the left arm is pushing down. So the idea is this expansion. When you look at the trigrams, Pung is a triple yang. So it's 3 solid lines. Pung. And what that means 3 yang lines, because the dotted lines are the yin, the yang lines. Make sure you see those toes. We're still in a front stance here. So it's the expression of expansion, moving outward. This move, this is the principle. And triple yang is triple. It's the outward, penetrating, pushing. So in a martial sense, this would never be used against somebody attacking you, a forcible attack. You would only use a triple yang in a case where somebody is using weakness or yin. Same way, if somebody was coming at you with full force, you would use a triple yin, which is you would use your softening, collapsing. You don't want to go yang against yang because it's always going to be the person with the biggest muscles win. And that's not a good way to fight this. There's always going to be someone more powerful and stronger. And who knows what somebody might be on. So that gives them 10 times more strength. So just keep that breath going. Remember our laser beams on the shoulders and hips. Getting pretty close. We've got about a minute left. So this is that idea of expansion, opening. Very good. Just breathe through. Feel that shaking at all. Exhale. Sink right through the feet. See those roots. Almost there. Feel all the muscles in the arms relaxing against the bones, just melting away against the bones. Almost there. You're doing great, guys. Just keep going. Very good. You're done. Okay, let's shake it out a little bit. Yeah, let's go do a couple of these. All right, very good job. Let's just close out, go into Wuji. And one more. Congratulations, you did amazing. Try to do this once a week, at least. Maybe a couple times a week. You're just gonna get to a point where it's just a piece of cake. You can go through it. You can even set your own timer. Do it for 5 minutes each one, 6 minutes. Just work it. All right, have a great day. Talk to you soon.